Well, welcome to Merv Hughs Fishing. We're here at Ngambie. We're at Ngambie Leisure Park, so Ngambie Lakes Leisure Park. The lake over that side, Squiz. We've got the Goulburn River, the mighty Goulburn River here. We're going to go and have a bit of a fish for cod today, and I can guarantee you, I'm going to guarantee you, Squiz, guarantee you, the viewer, metre long cod today. Stay on board. We've got Mark Turner from the Goulburn Broken Catchment Management Authority. That's a bit of a mouthful, but we're going to hear about what they do to help keep the infrastructure here for the fish. So they're fish friendly. They just put down man-made snags and that, so they give the fish habitat, and hopefully that'll give us more chance to catch fish. Metre long cod. Stay with us today. Turner with the Goulburn Broken Catchment Management Authority, and we promised you a metre cod today, and this is it. So we've got the electro-fishing guys. They're up here doing some research. We're going to tag along with them, and where are they from, Mark? Can you...
Well, these guys are from the Arthur Rylah Institute. We've got Zeb and Jared,
yep.
And they'll take us up here and we'll give a few snags a buzz and see what we can get.
So hopefully, fishing with a twist, a couple of metre cod are going to come on board. Happy days, Squiz.
That's us. Let's get 'em.
Okay, we're in your hands, boys. Well, Mark, we've met up with Jared and Zeb, and they work it hard, don't they?
They do, Merv.
And and my understanding is they come down here after you guys come in, put some man-made snags under, so fish habitat, and then they come and their research is to see if that habitat is actually holding fish.
Exactly right, Merv. You know, we need to know what we do if it makes any impact at all, otherwise it's sort of a waste of time. But a lot of our rivers, including the Goulburn, were de-snagged back in the day. Actually trying to get paddle steamers up here and run cargo up and down the Goulburn. But more recently, people de-snag thinking that they're going to increase the water and reduce flooding, but we know that's not the case. We do a bit of re-snag and get these guys to do before and afters to see if it works.
And some of the research and some of the studies, it's pretty conclusive that what you're doing actually works, so that's got to be rewarding for you.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the work Jared done, he did a great big study on the Murray, and it pretty well showed where you re-snag, you get 3 times the amount of cod.
Well, Goulburn River, it is notorious for cod. They've picked up a whole heap of yellow, so it shows that the system is very healthy.
Yeah, so far today, as you've seen, we've got quite a few yellow belly, and they look fantastic. The colouring on them just looks amazing, so that's great.
You guys just work hand in hand, and I suppose there's many different varieties of the electro. You've got carry packs that you do. Yep. If you're up in the upper reaches of creeks, obviously you can't get a boat up there, and the study and what you get back is fairly comprehensive.
Yeah, exactly. So a bit horses for courses. This is the bigger side of things, this boat. But down to the little creeks, etc., they have to use an electro-fishing backpack to get into some of those places.
And it's quite interesting to watch because you know when they got something, the man on the net gets very excited, doesn't he? Starts to move. He's got that net.
They have to move pretty quick. Some of them, the stun doesn't last that long. Some last longer, so they have to go pretty quick on the game to get hold of them.
And when they're actually doing the research, so how much of the river do they cover? As much as they can in a day, or they're here overnight?
Pretty specific, Merv, as to what your question is, what question you're trying to answer, I suppose. In some areas, we're just trying to look at what the population is. Some areas, we're trying to look at the success of an intervention. So you do monitoring before, some after.
So if you put some fish habitat in, so the man-made snags, you test the water before, and then you come back after to see if there's actually fish on that.
Yep, try and see how successful it is.
Well, you guys are doing good work. Keep it up, I say.
Thanks, Merv.
Although Mark doesn't seem to be working as hard as these guys over here.
No, we pay these guys today. Get them to work.
Cheers, Mark. Thanks for that. So what we've got here, you can see that this tree's fallen, but inside that tree, you can see a log that's been cut off. So that's probably something that you've put in, Mark.
That's all right, Merv. You'll normally see that. They're cut off, and we normally try and get a root ball or something like that, so it's complex, not just straight snags. So we get a lot of this sort of off Vic roads or when developments like that are happening. We try and get them to save that root ball for us and cart them in and put them in places like this to add to the habitat.
Well, I was going to say it adds to the habitat. It doesn't look like it needs the habitat because you've got the fallen trees, but just to throw that in, just to make sure that the fish have got the habitat and they've got somewhere to get away from the predators, I suppose.
We know we've de-snagged the rivers a bit. We know they're down on natural wood loading, so we just try and boost it up a bit to give it that hand, mate. Get it up a bit.
Yeah. So it's amazing when you're driving down a river. So if you're in a boat and you're on the Goulburn, you're on the Murray, any river system that you look at, just keep an eye out for structure like that because it is probably introduced, it's man-made, and that's what these guys at the Catchment Management Authority does.
Well done.
Yeah, mate. Happy days. Goulburn Broken Catchment Management Authority, they work hand in hand with these guys. And where are you guys from?
Yeah, so we work for a place called the Arthur Ryler Institute. So, we're like the research arm for government.
Okay, so it's all about research and what you go down and, you're virtually electronically probing the fish, aren't you, really?
Wow. I wouldn't put it that way, but so we go out and we've got this boat, it's called an electrofishing boat.
Yep.
And it puts, it's got a generator on it and it puts current in the water and it stuns the fish and they float to the top. And then we can pick them up and weigh and measure them and just sort of study how the river systems are going.
Yeah, and it's just all species of fish.
Yep.
So you look at it.
Yep.
We've got an array of fish in here. We've got cod, we've got yellow belly, redfin.
Redfin in there. Some reddies.
Any other species that
we're looking at? A couple of carp.
And this is just a regulation day. So over, I suppose, a day, how many fish would you catch, measure, weigh and release?
Yeah, so look, we've been going for a couple of hours now and there'd be 15, 20, 20 big size fish in there, and we can catch hundreds of fish in a day, and sometimes we'll put tags in them.
Yeah.
For this research, we're working with the CMA. We're looking at some of the re-snagging they've done up the river.
Yep.
And there's about 300 snags put back in, and so we've just gone through and done some surveys and seen whether those snags are starting to perform, so whether there's fish hanging around them for anglers to catch.
And with what you've got here, would it indicate that it's a healthy river system?
Yeah, we've got a range of size classes. Obviously around here, cod and yellow belly are the two species that anglers target anyway, and range of size classes of them. In particular, a lot of yellow belly around. It's looking pretty good.
Oh, it's good. It's
big mob of fish in there, Mervyn.
Big mob of fish.
Big mob of fish.
Might throw a lure in there and see how we go.
We still wouldn't do any good.
And where Mark Turner is from, the Catchment Authority, the Goulburn Broken, you work all over the state with your research?
Yeah, sort of southeastern Australia, but mainly in Victoria. So we work a lot with Fisheries Victoria and Department of Environment and all the CMAs, of course. So sort of right around the state doing this sort of stuff. So we get to see all the rivers, which is great.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad life. It's not a bad office you got, is it?
Yeah, it's good.
Hey? Not too bad at all. Well, we'll let you go and measure these, and Zeb obviously taking the notes down. So the length, the weight, the date it was caught, and all that. And we'll get out of your road.
All right, sounds good, Merv.
Thanks, boys.
Cheers, guys. That's a drinks break. And before we go to the break, here we are at the home of New Age Caravans, giving you a chance to win a My Coolman CCP 36 AC/DC fridge freezer, 36 squids, 36 litres.
Bluetooth compatible, mate.
For your chance to win one of these little babies worth over $1,000, simply go to the New Age Caravans Facebook page, like it, and you're in the draw.
I want one.
Like away, Squiz, like away. It's your only chance of getting one. Back after the break. We're here on the mighty Hughs Creek, just out the back of Avenel.
Hughs Creek, funny enough, that Merv.
No, the mighty Hughs Creek. I don't see a...
A little bit dry and tight at the moment,
I don't see a Taylor Creek anywhere, but that's another story. So we had you on the show a couple of years ago. We fished Eildon. That's part of your authority too.
Catchment. Yep.
But what we're virtually up in the Strathbogie Range, the upper reaches of the Hughs Creek, just to see the sort of work that you do up here.
That's right, Merv, that's right. And the Hughs Creek's really important to us. It's got one of our only remaining Macquarie perch populations in the area. There's not many left. And this creek, along with the Sevens Creek, suffered a lot. Since we came in, we cleared the land, we had rabbits coming, etc. We've had a lot of erosion off these hills, and a lot of sand ended up in our streams, filling up the pools and causing a whole heap of issues for our macas.
So I would imagine that after a real dry season, if it gets wet, that creates concerns too with what gets washed down the creek.
That's right, Mervyn. So we do a lot of work with landholders,
yep.
Try and keep their stock out of the waterways. So we do have good vegetation to buffer the waterways when the water runs off.
So we'll get over here and we'll have a talk to these guys, and they're just going to let us know what they're doing here.
We're going to have a look at the creek.
Okay, let's do it.
Happy days.
Now, Merv, this is Joe from the Arthur Riley Institute.
Joe, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Arthur Riley Institute for Environmental Research. What are you guys doing down here?
Well, we're monitoring the health of Macquarie perch. It's an Australian native freshwater fish, which is nationally endangered. And so the boys are out here doing some surveys to check on the health of the population here.
So what are we doing? Just electroing the water, stun the fish, bring it up, have a look, numbers, health-wise. A little bit of a drought at the moment.
Yep.
And does that create problems for you up here too?
It does. So where we're working, Hughs Creek here, it's an unregulated tributary of the Goulburn River. So at the moment with drought conditions, it's water's pretty low. And so that's a bit of an issue for Macquarie perch. There's about 11 populations in Victoria, and 7 populations are within this region, the Golden Broken catchment.
So what we're going to do is we'll go and catch up with these guys and see if they've electroed any fish up. Well, Merv Hughs Fishing Research, guys. We've got Hugh and Graham back here, and what they've done, they've got a bucket full of fish, as you can see looking into it. What they do now is they measure the fish. Sometimes they tag it, but this trip they're just measuring, recording what they've got, then releasing. So all in the name of research. Blackfish, they've got Macquarie perch, they've got a big carp that you may have seen Squizzy playing around with, and a couple of other species I've never heard of before. So introduced species. So mate, it's amazing how much you learn just by spending just a little bit of time with these guys. Got Graham Hackett here. Now this unit here, what is it exactly? I know it just goes in and zaps the fish, so it's electronic prober.
Yep.
But can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's a Smith root DC unit, and look, we're putting about 300 volts, 2 amps into the water.
Yep.
And how it works is the cathode, which trails behind, that's the negative. The anode out the front, that's the positive. We create a field in the water, and that attracts the fish up to the net, basically.
So when a fish is stunned,
yep,
how long do they stay stunned?
Usually anywhere from instantly to about a minute, and they recover from there. And
in the time that you've been here, is that a good return for you? Is it normal? Is it average? Is it below average?
I think with the conditions at the moment, I think it's probably average. Our efficiency is probably quite good with the low water.
Yep.
So yeah, I think we're picking up quite a few along here.
Okay, keep up the good work. We're here with the guys from the research lab that are catching them, recording them, and then what we do is release them. And I have the pleasure of releasing this fella. So a beautiful little Macquarie perch.
Beautiful fish.
They are, aren't they?
Into Hughs Creek.
Into Hughs Creek. There he goes.
There he goes.
And look, he goes straight for that structure. These are man-made. So have a look at that. That's the structure for the fish. And when the water's running, out there becomes deeper pools. So habitat for fish, and that's what it's all about in these upper reaches of the Hughs Creek. So
Beautiful place, isn't it?
great place.
That's so informative, Joe.
Mate, I can't believe the amount of fish that these guys have pulled out in 200 metres. But we come here, would cast, get nothing. They get an electrode probe, bang, there's about 40 fish.
That's how we win the next Barra Classic.
That's right, we're into it.
Next
Merv Hughs Fishing, back after the break. Welcome back to Merv Hughs Fishing. Listen, we found a likely bank along here. So just what I'm doing, just watching the screen, the sounder, and it's really good bottom here, but what's under us and what's over there where the boys are casting is a little bit different, but a few fish have showed up here, so they're in the area. I've just got the boys casting spinner baits to the bank, slow retrieve. I've just got this bibless hard lure, hard body, so I'm just going to be flicking that too. And what we're hoping to pick up here is cod, and by-catch of cod is yellow belly, but good depth, and I dare say it's really good depth around these snags over here, so hopefully we'll get lucky.
Well, Merv's picked a good spot here along the bank. We just had a little nibble before. It's only a tiny one. But with the sun setting, things might come on here.
Okay, I'm over here.
Hang on, I'm in.
Okay, you want to grab the net, Squiz? Oh, what do we got? Much weight or?
Oh, a little bit, Merv.
I'll get up here out of your road. So he hit it pretty hard, didn't he? Just off those snags. Obviously a fallen tree in there, and that's what I said to Mark. Darn good cast in the area. Oh, here he comes on the spinner bait.
Yellow.
Little yellow.
Yellow belly, outstanding, mate. Outstanding.
Good netting, Squiz. You've got to be happy that the river system's so healthy.
Oh, mate, I think what we've seen out here today has been fantastic. A lot of yellows.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Well done, mate. That's good work.
Electro fishes.
Happy days.
And there's just another example, I suppose, of it. Nice little healthy fish.
What's the legal limit of a yellow belly, Squiz?
That's dinner, isn't it, Merv?
I think it says 35 yellow belly. We'll have to check that. Don't quote me on that. But we're not keeping the fish anyway. We're going to let him go.
Absolutely.
So he's not dinner.
Beautiful looking fish.
That's a great... What about the colours in it? I can't understand why they call it the yellow belly. Golden perch.
Beauty, isn't it?
You better get that one back in the water. Well, there's a couple of good snags along here. Bit of a... I don't know whether it's a river mouth there, a creek mouth, but the wind's just pushing us along here.
Get Merv!
Squizzy!
Let's put one of those spinning baits on and whack.
Spinner baits, they're called.
One of those spinner baits.
Oh.
A gangster.
So we're just having a cast. We've had a bit of a troll today without too much luck. And if you have a look in the background here, we've just been casting into here, off this log here, off the edge there. And I reckon, Squizzy, you may have got him off the edge there, didn't you?
Just on past that. Oh, it's got a bit of weight on it, this bloody thing.
The thing about them too is they hit hard, and then they just sort of head for the bottom, so it's not a real heavy fight. So net? I'm tipping she's going to be, mate, it was yellow belly, you reckon, or is it big enough to be a cod?
I know, it's got a bit of weight on it.
Yeah, well, if it's got weight, it's probably...
It's a cod.
It's a cod. Whack him in there. Oh, straight in. He's probably just size. So 55, there's a slot measurement now, 55 to 75. You can keep anything between that. Under it, you've got to let it go. Over it are the breeders. But he's a good fish. Get him back in. So just be careful when you swim him. Again, watch out for the raspy teeth that they have.
It's been a long day, but it pays off with one cast, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You put us on the spot over there too.
Mate,
we'll go back there.
Yeah, you're one cast away, aren't you? So
one cast away.
That's what you've got to keep doing. Just keep hanging in there. Try different things. Like we said, we've trolled. We've flicked hard baits, we've got spinner baits on now, but get him back in the water, Squiz.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, Squiz.
What, you on?
Mate, I reckon I've flicked it out near that log. I've pulled it back, so you don't know whether they're sitting on the log and they follow you back, but it's unusual.
What do you got on here?
Oh, I'm tipping yellow belly by the colour of it. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Just hooked.
look at the size of this.
Well, what about getting the net?
Oh, sorry, mate.
That'd be handy. Not a bad size yellow, is he? Up and in.
Oh, he's a beauty, mate.
And that is a good fish. What, you've got the urge now, Squiz. You're not going to talk to me about my fish?
Mate, I love it. It's a beauty
Pat
fish.
me on the back and say, great job, Merv.
Great job, brother.
Thank you very much, Merv Hughs Fishing.
I just want one myself.
Yeah, Goulburn River. So I've picked up a cod. Really had no luck until the sun started to creep down, and as you can see, we're in the shade here, so it's late afternoon, cooled down, there's a storm on the way, so barometer's dropping, and good time to fish, so we'll get him back in the water. Well, it's the end of another episode. Before we sign off, guys, your chance to win a Merv Hughs gift pack. All you've got to do, guys, is buy a new age caravan. Go to mervhughsfishing.com.au, show us proof of purchase. For all your terms and conditions, they're there too. But once you've shown us proof of purchase, the first 30 will win a gift pack worth over $1,200, Squiz. Yep. Tonic sunglasses.
Shimano rod and reel combo, mate.
A metal detector from MindLab. Gear worth over $1,200. For terms and conditions, go to mervhughsfishing.com.au. See you next week.